We gotta believe, we gotta be mentally strong. When we tired, that's when we gotta put our fundamentals together. That's when we gotta be more focused. When we tired, look across the field and see how tired they are. That should give you more effort. Be like, I'm gonna beat his ass. I'm gonna get fundamentally strong. Everybody's great when they're not tired. The champions is when they're tired, that's when the real champions come out.
Storm. Storm. Storm.
Wake up 52. keep on falling, falling and falling. Will I ever reach the bottom? I'm sorry, 'cause I keep on falling, falling and falling. The dealer of pain is what they call me. And I keep on falling, falling, falling. Will I ever reach the bottom? I'm sorry. I keep on falling, 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 falling. The dealer of pain is what they call me. And I keep on falling, falling, falling. Will I ever reach the bottom? I'm sorry. I keep on falling, 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 falling. The dealer of pain is what they call me.
With regard to the astro-theological perspective of intuitively observable celestial phenomena, a spell-binding splinter of the collective unconscious has endured centuries of totalitarian sorcery. As we live through a time where this testable true earth revelation often induces a complete shock to the core, the awakening of the masses seeks a binding agent to connect us all back to the absolute truth about this realm. Step closer into the veil and unleash truly magic properties by accessing realms beyond, not with a billionaire's rocket ship, but with the power that's always existed within you to do so all along. School prisons and money-hungry colleges were never going to tell you anything about this. This book is crucial.
Rumble YouTube family, what's good? What's happening? Ironwork 92,000 in the house, y'all. Welcome, welcome. Sunday. Normally I don't do Sundays, but today I figured I might as well do something. We missed each other on Friday. I don't know if we missed each other on Tuesday. I forgot. I think we did actually. But this week I've been all over the place. I've been doing a lot. Either way, welcome everybody. Good to have y'all. I know today's a holiday for many because it's Super Bowl Sunday, but still we're going to get together today and we're going to chop it up a little bit. But before I continue, let me do my due diligence. Y'all know how I get down. Y'all know what it is. Yes, sir. Yes, sirree, Bob. Chris Wabbs, welcome, sir. Good to see you. Good to see you. Chris Getz, good to see you. Chris times two. That's two Chris's, y'all. That's two. Serious business. What's happening, fam? Ryan S, what's going on, bro? Ida Hill, how you doing, sis? All right, all right. We are moving. We are grooving. Parallax, welcome, sir. Welcome, welcome. Brian Roy, King Roy, how you doing, man? Brian Roy's in the foundry. Good to see you. Nate X, good to see you, man. It's been a while. It's been a while, but it's still always a pleasure. Welcome. See Lightning in the foundry. Good to see you, sir. Welcome, welcome. Anon and Mouse, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Warrior coming out and playing with us. It's nice and early, so I got you today, Warrior. All right. Good to see you, though, brother. Welcome, welcome. All right, all right. Who we got? Who we got? These are the early birds. These are the early birds catching the worms. Good to see y'all. Welcome, welcome. It is always a pleasure to see y'all. It is always a pleasure to see y'all. Let me see. Tarita. Hey, Tarita, that's a blast from the past. Good to see our sister Tarita's here. And yes, and so for all you people in Europe, yo, come on out, man. I miss my Europeans. All my people out there in Europe, come on out. Join us today, so we can chop it up over here in the foundry. And my thing is typically because I typically go on so late, I miss my people in Europe, I miss the people out in the UK, so this is our opportunity to get together. I've even considered doing some shows on Sunday, just, you know what I'm saying, to kind of rehash the week, go over some things, chop it up, and then this way we can grab, and it would be early on Sunday, and then this way we could grab people from the UK and alike. So again, it's a pleasure to have everybody. Not going to be taking up too much of y'all's time because I know many of y'all is going to be either going to Super Bowl parties or just sitting at home watching the Super Bowl. Some of y'all might even be partaking by betting, DraftKings and all that stuff. So I don't want to be a thorn in your side or take up too much of y'all's time. Yeah, quite a few things. Wanted to talk about these things that are above our heads, namely the stars. What am I talking about? Okay. So we have a few people that spend quite a bit of time looking at the stars, right? We have Mikey Smith, we have Jim Anus, we have now Sam. Sam is spending Flat Earth Recon, of Flat Earth Recon fame. So shout out to Sam. If you guys don't know, check out Sam, Flat Earth Recon, right? Sam is out there. Sam does some really good stuff. Sam has been putting his ankles in it and taking a look at these stars, which I think is pretty damn dope. So, and much of what he's come up with, if you guys aren't too familiar, hold on, let me bring it up real quick. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What we got? What we got? What we got? Okay. So I know you guys are familiar with this right here. This is the one that everybody's used to seeing, right? The really clear one from Mikey Smith's fame. Select window. Oh boy, we're gonna do this thing again. Okay, allow. There it is. I don't know if you guys can see it. All right, so there it is right there. If you look, that is Mikey Smith's picture, right? And we're getting all kinds of stuff from different people, namely the experts, which I'm only doing the air quotes because there's still people that spend a lot of time taking these photographs of what's up in the sky. And since they do, I am going to give them their credit because they put in a lot of work to do the things that many of us either aren't too familiar with or we just don't do at all. I'm one of them. I don't take pictures of the night sky. I don't at all. So I'm not claiming to be any type of expert. I'm not. However, for those that are saying certain things like it's an aberration or whatever, of course, we can take some of this stuff and we can test it. I feel this is what guys like Mikey Smith, Sam, and Jim Anus are doing. Now, with this being said, guys, please listen. I'm going to get this off the screen. You guys get it. I think here's another one, right? This is one that was sent in to us from Skeps sent this one to me. He sent that one to me. And yeah, Mikey Smith's is still good. And I'm still not good with Mikey Smith. I'm not even going to sit here and lie to you. Like I try not to start drama or cause any drama, but yeah, I still have a little bit of a look. He made a good picture. He did. Sam is doing much the same now. Sam is finding ways in which to get the stars and capture it just like this. I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. I don't, but it looks fascinating. So Sam has done his due diligence, and really, I can't really speak to it simply because I don't know what I'm talking. I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't, but it looks nice. I'm not going front, right? It looks so nice that I'm like, wow. All I could do is just like look in awe at these things. And of course, we're going to get, it doesn't matter what we do. We could say that the sky is blue and then, we're going to have opposition just because we believe, or we understand that the earth is flat. Now, that's another thing. Don't, I'm going to remind me to talk about things that are based off of opinion and things that are based off of fact. Okay, because they're two different things. There are things that are as they are, and then there are opinions. Okay. Now, it's been consistent. Now, hold your horses. Just because Sam and Mike and Jim Anus have been getting the stars consistently, that doesn't mean that what they're looking at is valid. And what I mean by that is this. Not valid in the sense that they're not taking those pictures. That's not at all what I'm saying. I mean more so in that the pictures that they're taking are that that they are that they're not a defect, or rather a what's the word I'm trying to look for, not inconsistency, but um the sensor within the camera may not measure up to the sensor in the camera doesn't provide enough um I guess quality is the word. And when you're not that good in English, the the sensor doesn't provide enough clarity in maybe perhaps, and again, I am not a cameraologist. I'm not claiming to fully know. However, there are those out there that claim that they know. And my thing is, before we jump on the bandwagon and say that they're totally wrong, we have to turn over all the rocks. We have to look into these things a little bit deeper. And the reason I'm looking at this now is because I honestly believe that us as true earthers, as flat earthers, we're in a very good place, right? Sam was on his show earlier, and I think he said it best. He was like, "Oh, the globes, they don't have anything." And he's right. They really don't have anything. And us as flat earthers, we're in a good place, namely because we can prove no curvature, and it's easy, right? One. Two, um, we don't have to add any more ingredients to the stew, if that makes any sense. Like, the stew is good just the way it is. There doesn't need to be any more seasoning or anything else to be added to the gumbo. Now, why is this important? Well, it's important because we understand the type of world that we live in. Once we start speculating and everything else, and then you kind of lose your way and you wind up forgetting what it is you came to achieve in the first place. So it's just I'm awed by what the hell's these guys are getting still, right? Despite what the critics may say, because are we for sure that what they're getting is an actual aberration, or is it something that requires more investigation from us because they actually got something of substance? Um, there have been more pictures. I'm going to show you, right? I don't know. And here's the thing, sub to Flat Earth Recon. And guys, if you have a channel, please go ahead and drop your channel in the Foundry so everybody else has access to it. If you want, you can sub to Mikey Smith as well, right? I, I don't want to be an unfair old man. Sub to him as well. Um, and also sub to Jim Anus. Jim Anus is like at 400 subs. Let's get this brother over 450 today, right? Sub to Jim Anus because doesn't Jim doesn't fuck with nobody. He doesn't do any of that nonsense. What Jim does is he goes outside. He does it right by providing a cardinal direction, right? A true direction for the most part, right? Bearing, right? uh, Height or altitude, temperature, humidity, things of the, and I think time of day as well, and the date. So things of that nature, that's, in my opinion, are just the fundamentals of any time you document something and it requires a visual observation of the sky or anything else like that. Those things must be inside the logs, right? You have to have those things that I just mentioned. So he does a great job at doing that. And really, that's what Jim does. Jim doesn't come out here. He doesn't talk with people. He doesn't make fun. He doesn't talk shit to people. He doesn't talk bad about people. So I think that in itself, kudos to you, Jim. Now, with that being said, guys, listen. We are, for those of us that are true earthers, flat earthers, we are flat earthers. Okay? We're flat earthers. We're not here to fight with people. We shouldn't be here to argue with people. We shouldn't be here to give anybody a headache. Maria Walker, how you doing, sis? The amazing Maria Walker. It's good to see you, sis. Welcome, welcome. We're not here to fight with each other. Matt, this shit's good to see you, man. Good to see you, sir. Matt, this shit's 5721. Yeah. So we're not here to like, when we shouldn't be here to fight and argue with one another. Now I'm saying that because lately one of our flat earth people was talking bad about another one of our one of our more vocal flat earthers, right? Guys, it doesn't even have to be like that. You know, Tourette 3006, good to see you, man. We have enough division here in this world. We have enough, right? Um, we're doing the best that we can with the information that we got. So I don't think that the arguments, or not the arguments rather, but the talking bad and the talking down on people, I don't think that we need that. I hope that makes sense, man. And I'm not trying to pick on any one person. And I know I could be guilty of it too. But at the same time, if I need to be checked, then I need to be checked, because to me, I don't think that's necessary. Even if I'm doing it, especially if I'm doing it, I don't think that's called for. And I'm going to call myself out like I ain't got no choice, right? Because like that's silly division. We don't need it. Um, and yeah, man, like Sam, like I'm sorry. Like we think you're great, man. Like I think you're great. I like you and all that. And I don't, and yo, you're finding good stuff. Or maybe you're not finding good stuff. Me, I think you're finding good stuff. And with the good stuff you find, I don't want you to spoil it by by talking down on people. You know what I'm saying? People have their opinions. Everybody has, maybe they feel they found something that can better explain what it is you have in order to put it in the proper context so we can further investigate, and then it would demonstrate that yes, you have something, or maybe you don't have something, but it still looks interesting. And that's okay, because really where we win as flat earthers is we win with the truth. And just look around you. Look around you. I want everybody to stop, forget about the flat earth, and just look at what's happening with this whole Epstein files, the pedophiles, the COVID vaccine, um, everything, everything that's going on here in, whether it's in the United States, outside the United States. Just look, right? People are getting caught up in their bullshit, right? That dude got assassinated September 10th, and then right off the top, we could find AI was involved, and then there was a problem. The current president said that he got his ear shot off. We caught his ass in a bullshit ass lie. That was nonsense. And then right on off the rip, we knew he was lying. So to us, our value is our treasure is in the truth. And those that aren't part of the truth, they're being exposed, and they're being exposed fast. Now, why is this a big deal? It's a big deal because people are tired. Okay, people are tired of liars. They've had enough. um they've had enough. And these are your lay people. Like I think for the most part, nobody likes being lied to, right? But because so many of us have gotten comfortable with it, like many of us, I would dare say that many of us kind of don't mind it or haven't minded it. Now, I do feel that honestly that being lied to has a physical effect on you, because if words have power, and if words are sound and vibrate, like we're going to break it down to its microscopic components. Let's think about it like that, right? If words can heal or words can harm, and their sound vibrations coming from you, right? And they can give you power or they can make you weak. The it doesn't it doesn't make a difference if it's small words or small lies as well. You have to look at it like that, because not everything is going to be big. And if something is big enough to where it makes a an immediate physical change on you, then you got to think like that must be super powerful. Kind of like taking a lighter and burning yourself, and then ultimately seeing your flesh carbonate, right? Basically, you start to burn up. So words have the same properties. Words can do this, be the same thing, or the transmitted word from your voice. So if you're lying on somebody and you're lying to people and in their face, you have to think that you're actually altering somebody's physical um presence in some adverse kind of way. I know it sounds crazy. I know it does. And I'm not saying I'm super truth man, this and that. Yeah, no, because I've lied. I've lied to people, right? Um, Guys, if you're married, you've lied. If you've had a girlfriend before, you've lied. Girls, same thing. If nobody's perfect, right? But we just that's not an excuse though. That is not an excuse. That's not an excuse to lie. And so with all these lies that we're dealing with, people have gotten to the point to where we have had enough. Flat earthers, we've been had enough, right? To where we kind of seem over the top with our passion for the true earth. Now your layperson has had enough. And basically everything at one time that we had deemed fiction has come to the forefront, and it requires some sort of reinvestigation. We have to look at it once again, because now it's like there's nothing off the table, right? Like now everybody's looking at it like now we have to sift through this stuff over again because there's a good chance that they probably lied to us about it. um nobody really paid attention to the Epic of Gilgamesh because it was the Epic of Gilgamesh, right? It was a story that they found them freaking, or they claim to have found these tablets in Iraq, out and around that area. These tablets, they were from Uruk, Mesopotamia, thousands of years ago. They put it together. They found a way, a Rosetta Stone, something of that effect, and then they gave us the Epic of Gilgamesh. Meanwhile, some of the story is missing. So how they did that, I don't even know how the hell they did that. Like I honestly don't. But they said they did it. So if we want to go off of that narrative, and that at one time was just a story, but now it's turning out that these things are not stories. But then the same people that are telling you that are giving you a load of BS about the composition of where it is we live. And then that turns out to be bullshit. So now you mix that, it's when you mix truth with the lies, what's the use? What's the point? What's the point? And us as flat earthers and true earthers, we totally get that concept, and we're like, hey, you need to throw the baby out with the bathwater, because the baby's poison, the bathwater is definitely poison, right? But the layperson, and that's what the powers that be, they rely on the layperson because they're many, right? They're a lot more abundant than your flat earthers, right? To the tune of what, I don't know, but they're a lot more abundant than us. Okay. Now that they've gotten to a place to where they're so uncomfortable that now they require the truth. They want the truth because now you got these pedophiles on the damn street, and it could be rather dangerous for you, me, and our kids, right? And people have reached that point. We're at that boiling point. And so if you're not in line with the truth, that's a problem. Math is shits. Peace out, bro. You be safe. You be safe, math is shits. Right? And so we just want the truth. Voy, voy, voy. Good to see you, voy, voy, voy. All we want is the truth. And so when we're going after each other like that, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's worth it. Um, it's bad enough that we're being lied to by people that claim to be in our corner. It's bad enough to be lied to by people that at one time we trusted, right? Now that it's Now that these are obvious lies, and we know that they can't. Here's a good thing. The good news is that we know that they're our enemy. We know that we can't trust them. That's the good part. The bad part is when we go up against ourselves. The bad part is when we fight and we try to bring each other down, when really at the end of the day we're all we got. We are all we got. It's us, and then it's those people that are parallel to us, right? But they think that we're crazy. They're on our Believe it or not, they're on our team too. Now, they may slow us down, but they don't know any better. They don't know because we used to be them. It just takes a little bit of voltage, right? And just a little bit of time just to change your mind. So these guys as well, believe it or not, they are our allies. Now, I know they slow us down, but there are some that don't know that they're doing it. There are some that don't know that they're just regurgitating other lies because they're so comfortable in the bullshit that they're just ready to just give it up, right? And it impresses people and everything else. So a lot of ego is involved. But a lot of ego is involved with us as well. And I'm guilty of it too. So I'm not going to sit here and berate any one or two people because of talking bad about other people in the community. But remember that we are what this is it right here. This right here is it. All right. Now, I ain't got many people in the foundry right now. It is what it is, right? We're going to get there. We're going to get there. So please, please. But we have other people, we have other channels and other foundries or something like that, other chats, right? And so that is it. We don't have too many of us here, but there are many of us that know the value of the truth. If you have that, you're in a good place, right? But don't knock the other flat earther to your right or to your left. Do your best to not knock them down. If anything, correct that individual. Pull them to the side and correct them, or come up here and correct them. And if we need to be corrected, we need to accept the correction, because it's not to make any one or two people look bad, but it's rather to just make sure we're following the straight and narrow and we're working together, man. Because again, at the end of the day, we're all we got, man. We don't have to be fighting. Like we really don't. The final experiment thing, that's its own thing. Let those guys stew in that, right? Let them have that. But talking bad about this person because they have a difference in opinion, right? Or talking bad. Look, we are true earthers. We're true earthers. We've gotten that far. We're here now. We're here. Let's work here. Don't try to push the person down a level. Don't do that, please. I'm not saying that we need the numbers. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we like the quality. Stay as a qualitative member of this community. Don't reduce yourself to talking bad about a one person in. If they're outside of the community and they're trying to cause the community harm, that's one thing. But in the community, guys, we're all a valuable piece to this whole thing. All of us is a good ingredient to the gumbo that is the true earth. All right, let's make it a good gumbo. Let's continue to make it a good gumbo. Don't fight each other over nonsense, dude. um Jim Anus does an amazing job getting these stars. Let me show you some of his stuff that he got recently, right? I used it, Jim Anus. Hopefully you don't get mad at me, but this thing right here, it looks like a damn flashlight, and it looks much like what Mikey Smith captured. I'm gonna bring it up right now. Give me a second. Shit screen. I don't like that, man. I don't like how. Hold on. There it is, right there. Okay, so this right here, if you look, this this basically looks exactly like what Mikey Smith had, but it's different. You can see how it's different. It's not as sharp, but that's okay. What you used, I have no idea, Jim Anus, but it looks as if he might have used his P1000, P900, I think you got. I forget which one. But this right here is a pretty decent job capturing it. Um, is this an aberration? I don't know. I don't know, but I think it is still interesting what it is you have. Now, are we going to get made fun of because we're getting this? Fine, whatever. We don't care. We don't care. I tell you what, being made fun of for being wrong is a lot. I tell you, and I'm going to put my whole grill up here. Being made fun of for being wrong beats being made fun of for lying every time. I'm gonna say it again, being made fun of for being wrong beats being a liar every single time. When you lie, you cannot come back from it. You can't come back from that. So we need to do our best and follow that straight and narrow. And if we're wrong, we're wrong. But we have to give credit where credit's due. Shout out to Jim Anus. And this is a good picture right here, or a decent picture. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I like it because it's starting to follow a pattern. Again, we have Mikey Smith's. We had Sam's, right? And they look, Mikey Smith's and Sam's kind of resemble one another. I don't know where Sam is at. Hopefully he could come in and he could kind of speak on it, and speak on other things too. We're going to have to go there. But he could speak on it and we could talk about some of what he's captured as of late. Sam has been doing a lot of stuff, right? Doing a lot of good work talking about the pictures that he's taken of the night sky. And I believe some of those pictures were serious. Now, serious, not as far as the gravity of things, right? But rather the star up in the sky is serious. Now, with that being said, what I need people to know is that the star Venus, right? When you see the star Venus, or people say the planet Venus, when you see that thing in the sky, Venus, I never knew this, but the first time I saw Venus as a crescent was last year, I think. Last year after I came from Vegas, and it was Harmon. Harmon took a picture of Venus, and I thought it was pretty damn interesting, right? Um, and when he took that picture of Venus, it was in the shape of a crescent. Now, me not knowing, I didn't know what it was. I was like, wow, that's the moon. Why don't you have it in a better, clearer quality? He was like, no, 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 that's not the moon. That's Venus. And so Venus was somewhat occulted. It was occulted. It was just a crescent shape. And I'm looking at that thing like, wow, that's crazy. Now, why am I saying this? It goes back to what I was saying before, as far as one of the things that Jim Anus, I feel, does very well. He captures the time, the day, the cardinal direction in which he's pointing the camera, right? Like bearing wise, bearing this, bearing that, in respect to where the North Pole is, or where true north is. And when he does these things, altitude and everything else. These things are important because as true earthers, flat earthers, our claim to fame is basically not just for the truth, but we recognize patterns very well. This is no different. When we can spot a pattern in why Venus gets occulted, maybe there is a relation to the other heavenly bodies as well to why Venus gets occulted the way it does. And then maybe we could see what's occulting things like the moon, what's making it have its shape, throughout the month, right? Whether it's waxing or waning. Then we can better speak on that. I hope that makes sense. Like just knowing when it is in the day, where we are in respect to these heavenly bodies. And if the Venus that Jim Anus is seeing, I think Jim Anus is from I don't know if he's an Aussie or if he's a UK, a guy from the UK. I'm going to assume that Jim Anus is from England. So if you live in New York, you're looking at Venus whenever it comes up and comes around. I think it's like around the springtime. You see it the way you see it. The guys in the UK, when they see Venus, they see it the way they see it. If it's any different, but you see it the same day, now the question starts becoming as to why does it look different over there and as opposed to over here when we see it. Now, before I go ahead and I know some of you guys are asking for that link. Before I send it, now I wanted to talk on one thing. If somebody's telling you that flat Earth is, we need to be clear, and this needs to be an understanding from all flat earthers. Attention, all flat earthers! Attention, all flat earthers! Earth is flat, and it's a fact, right? We need to let everybody know that it is not a flat earth theory. We need to correct that right out the gate. That needs to be known. That needs to be a fact, and that needs to come from us. We need to let them know it is not a theory. It is a fact, right? Flat Bob, welcome, sir. Good to see our brother Flat Bob. Good to see you, sir. True Earth Whisperer, welcome, sir. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you, sir. Welcome, welcome. Always a pleasure. Hallucinate that. Wait, who the hell? Hallucinate that. I don't know who that is. Okay. Oh God. All right, guys. You guys could be vicious in here. Oh my God. So, okay. So people keep saying the flat earth theory, this theory, that theory. It is not the same. They're two different things. When you go to a room and you hit the light switch on, it's in one condition, on, right? How could you tell? Because the circuit is closed. Once that circuit closes, your light's cut on. That's it. As soon as you hit the switch in the opposite direction, it's off, unless you have a three-way switch and then something else is going on, right? It's off. Now, people need to understand flat earth is the same thing. It is either flat or it's not, or it's either horizontal and level or it's not. It's not a guess, it's not a theory, it's not a possibility, it just is. Okay? Now, people saying that it's an opinion, same thing. It is not up for debate. It's not an opinion. Now, I could say that till the cows come home. Totally. But at the same time, what I totally recommend, especially if you live next to a big body of water, i.e., a lake, a river, the ocean itself, coastal, go out, do the experiment yourself. Don't ask me about stuff and then start making fun of me and telling me it's an opinion, because you have to do the work yourself. You have to go out and you have to see it for yourself. It hits different. Okay. But it's not an opinion and it's not a theory. Okay. So you need to get that out of if you're not a believer, or if you're not a person that understand, and that's the thing, it's not a belief. It is not a belief. Flat earth isn't, we don't believe the earth is flat. We understand because we know that the earth is flat. Like we get it now, you know? And like I've mentioned before, everybody that operates some piece of technical gear that relies on a transmission, whether it's a ballistic transmission or an electromagnetic transmission, we rely on the earth being in a particular condition, right? We rely on the atmosphere giving us a particular condition so that we can best operate our equipment at maximum. I hope that makes sense. And so this is not up for a debate, because people's lives are dependent upon this, or taking people's lives is dependent upon that as well. And yes, that's right. That's right. So they delayed Artemis 2 again. They delayed it, and I think it's delayed up until March. And if March doesn't work, April, and if April doesn't work, then they're going to scratch the whole thing, I believe, for this year altogether. But that's to get people's, like, yeah, anyway, I'm not even going to talk on that. Guys, it's like, please, please let those people know. We can't, and again, the words have power. We can't let them get away with these things. We can't let just the everyday person get away from these things, because now it's gotten to the point to where flat earth, it's not a joke anymore, or it never was a joke. But how we handle it and how we discuss it carries some kind of weight. So in order for people to recognize the seriousness behind it, they say it's a belief. No, it's not. That's where you're wrong. It's not a belief. It's knowledge, it's an understanding, it's a condition that the earth is in. It is flat. It's not and it's not up for debate. It's not an opinion. Okay, if you don't know how to ride a bike, that's not my problem. I can ride a bike, and I've been riding a bike. Just because I know how to ride one and you don't know how to ride one doesn't mean that bikes don't stay upright on two wheels. Okay, you have to, you must do the thing for yourself. If you haven't seen it for yourself and you're arguing with a flat earther, just do yourself that favor so you don't have to argue. Because the last thing you want to do is apologize because you were wrong, because you refused to do the small steps. That's looking. All you have to do is look. All you have to do is take that time to go look for yourself. Um, all right. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop that link. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop that link. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? There we go. Here we are. Boom. There you go. It is in there. It is in there, sir. You got it. Jimmy Satterfield, one of my day ones. Good to see you, sir. Tourette 3006. Good to see you. Good to see you. Chris Allen. Hey, it's been a while, man. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, man. Palkus, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. So that's a good point. Palkus, that's a good point. A lot of people are going to these channels like Redacted and everything else, and they're getting caught up in like nonsense conspiracies like that. And this is what's funny is that you had I think it's Jason Harvey or something like that. Harvey, the blonde-headed guy from Florida that tried to sue NASA and everything, or tried to use Florida's local Congress to go up against NASA, something to that effect. But after he went on Redacted, and now the flat earth is becoming a little bit more prominent. Now you have people like David Icke, who doesn't know that he doesn't tout true earth and flat earth. Instead, he goes out there and he starts talking about reptiles. And so now I'm not saying that there's no evidence in this whole reptile thing. That's not what I'm saying. But what it does is it reduces how effective the flat earth is, because people start mixing the two. People start mixing reptiles with the flat earth. And I'm not saying that there isn't some kind of mix anywhere. Actually, I kind of am, because I feel that we need to keep those two separate until there's some sort of evidence that can kind of merge the two. Until there is evidence that can merge the two, I think we need to distance ourselves from the reptiles. I think we totally need to distance ourselves from that reptile thing. Um, and so David Icke is up there getting those guys in. But it came true. Everything we said about Pizzagate, everything we said about the pedophiles, everything that you said about the child rapists, everything we said about the guys that are doing the black market thing, right? It's true. It's but we knew we were right. I don't like hearing, "Oh, you guys were right." No, it's kind of dumb and it's lame at this point. You understand? We know that we're right, because when you're honest, it's your eyes your eyes are clear, but you have to be honest with yourself. If you're not, you're going to be your judgment is going to be clouded. Your eyes are going to be clouded. The whole thing. Stephen Hawking's is in the Epstein files. Damn. Uh, mm, mm. I don't know what he was doing. His whole body was all jacked up. I don't know what he could have done. But let me shut the hell up and let this man on. Sam, welcome, man. It's good to see you, bro.
How you doing, man? How are you? I've been listening to
Yeah,
everything you
man.
said, and I always told you, you're the best, man. You should have been like, you will be one day the spokesman of Flatters.
Oh, I don't know about that.
You're the best. You're the best. And I just want to tell you that I agree with every single thing you said. I just the only thing that I have to, if I can, just correct is that sometimes it does not apply to the situation. But we can talk about it if you want. I don't care about whatever problem that
Sure. No.
we have
No,
with
that's
Harmon,
that's what
Jimenez,
we're
and
here.
everything. No
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. That's what we're here for. It's Sunday, so we can
No,
kind of go
no,
over it. Sure.
no problem.
Yeah.
So the thing is that, first of all, when we talk about the community or the flourishers, we have to understand something. Not everybody is true flourisher in the community. That means that there are good flourishers, that they do their job, they do their homework, they invest themselves. They're like bad flourishers that don't do much, but they're still flourishers and true flourishers. And then there is like fake flat earthers. David Weiss, for me, is a total fake flat earthers. Flat earther. I've exposed him many times. That means that he's going to promote flat Earth on one side, and he does a great job promoting flat Earth. There's nothing to say about this. But is it for flat Earth, or is it for the flat Earth community, or for other different private interests? And this is where we have to be acute and be careful not to be fooled. So the thing is that the way I see things, I want to get to the truth all the way. So anything that's going to just like keep me from reaching the truth or try to deviate me from the truth, right, I'm going to identify it as an enemy to destroy. It's very simple. Okay. I don't have no empathy. I don't have no, so the thing is that I'm going to start with Harmon. I don't want to destroy it. I still don't have a problem with him. Just with what he said, is that to start with Harmon, he's always proved himself to be very acute, very sharp, good thinker. Totally. Good reasoning. It's I've seen it. I've been on podcasts with him. Despite the fact that sometimes he can snake bite people by saying stuff, but he always knows how to apologize and everything. He's a good guy overall. I have no problem with him. Up to the day that I heard him saying that he's got a better equipment than Mikey Smith. Therefore, Mikey Smith equipment is no good. Therefore, his pictures are no good. This sounds like kind of absurd to me, but everybody can be wrong. I have no problem. But when you have to be wrong like this, on sensitive subjects, that means things that are very important for fathers, to my opinion. So I have to react. So he said that's not receivable because there are equipment that are much better than his. That doesn't make his equipment not reliable. It doesn't make his picture not good because there are other people taking different pictures. Then the other thing is that the pictures that you have are very poor pictures. You don't see you have 3 pixels. It doesn't look like nothing. When the pictures of Mikey Smith are full of details. I mean, I don't have to to say that. It's clear. I don't care about Mikey Smith, but I see the pictures. I see I can see the differences. You cannot say that a picture full of details is no good, is blurred, and the blurred one is the exact picture. That means at that point you insult my intelligence, and you do that on something that's very important for flooders. So for me, it's a red flag. So I have to react. As a truth searcher, I have also to protect the truth. Right. So for me, at that point, I have to react. Now, again, when for example, you're saying that, we shouldn't, argue among us, and I agree 1,000%. But
I think arguing is one thing, but to bring each other down, that's
of course.
It's cautious of that. But the arguments, I think, are healthy. I think we need that.
1,000%. The only thing is that at that point, when I bring somebody down, I don't see him as part of us anymore. I see him as an intruder, as an alien. That means he's not somebody that is a flat earther like me that I'm going to bring down. And certainly not because I do a better job than him or whatever. Never in the world. For example, Jimenez, I always went with the mainstream, okay, he's trying hard, he's going out every day, and every day he's taking pictures. We have to encourage him and everything. I had no problem, but at one point I say, wait a second, something is a little out of place in that Jimenez thing. And the thing that I think is out of place, I might be wrong, I don't know, is that you cannot say of somebody, even a nice guy, and I don't even know if he's nice because he never saw his face. He's anonymous. I don't know. I never heard him. I never saw him. But the thing is that you cannot say of somebody that he's great and doing a great job if he's got pictures that you can find all over the internet and that are kind of poor pictures. Doesn't mean that we don't have to encourage him. No problem. The guy's working hard. I have no problem with that. I just have the problem with saying, this shit is the fucking greatest thing that ever. It's like saying modern art, you have something that's ugly, saying, oh, that's beautiful. So this is where I'm saying, okay, that's out of place. But still, it's not a reason to just argue. The reason to argue is this one, is that if somebody that wants to, that puts his heart into it, that wants to, film the stars and take pictures of the stars and invest himself into it. If a guy like this does not take in consideration that another guy, maybe not popular, maybe that he doesn't like, but another guy has got like good results with his methods. So normally, anybody that's like honest with himself should try to imitate him or to do the same, just the way he did. So
Right.
the guy, I don't like Mikey Smith, but hey, maybe he's got something. Hey, maybe not, maybe yes. So let's try to get a pair of binoculars, try to do something, just like he does. But no, not only doesn't do that, but he keeps on showing pictures of like blood stars. We have like hundreds of them. We don't show them as like stars. I understand a guy that's trying hard, and I'll be with him 1,000%. But don't do like Armand. Do not insult my intelligence, especially on a sensitive subject like this, because this is where I just back off. I just close myself like an oyster. You understand? So maybe I might be like too harsh, maybe sometimes on people, but this is the way I tend to do when I feel like the truth is in danger, that the community is being like played. And again, I might be wrong. I don't know the guy. I don't know, but this is just my impression. If not,
Okay.
everything you say is true.
Now, real quick, now in Harmon's defense, he never said that Mikey's like binoculars were bad. He just said that it was specifically what he said was that his camera, being from a camera phone, the sensor is too small. The sensor is too small. So that's what he means by the inferior equipment. And he was clear about that. Not the binoculars or anything, because this is what I take away from it, right? When he says that, and I even asked him just to clarify, and if my analogy works. If you have like if I have a hole in my eyeball because somebody took a nail and shoved it in there, you could give me the Hubble Space Telescope to put on my face. It doesn't matter. I ain't going to see shit out them eyes. You understand? So if the eyes are bad, but the glasses are good, you still ain't seeing shit.
No
You know
problem.
what I'm saying? So this is, and I explained that to Harmon, and he's like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. So that's basically what I gathered from it, and I was correct, and I asked the source himself. And I think that's something that requires a little bit more investigation. So in other words, and here's why I'm saying that, right? Because Harmon has always been upfront. He's always been honest, and he's never given anybody a reason to go. And to me, the flat earth, it's not about individuals, it's about a whole, right? But there are those that tell it like it is all the time, right? And they may sound crazy, they may seem stupid, and it may seem like an opinion, but at least it's coming from a place of honesty. And so I think in that regard, we have to let it sit where it is. But that's something that I feel definitely requires investigation, because if the sensor is too small, right, we have to look at alternatives to capture the stars then, right? And here's another thing that we have to remember. These guys could do whatever they want with the digital electronics that we have available to us today. So we cannot trust these digital electronics when we capture what we capture, and then we look at it through a computer. If there's any way that somebody could get this stuff with a film camera, right? I don't know how. Well, I know how you would do it, but I don't know if anybody really has the resource to do it, because we're all relying on digital. I got my little phone right here. It's not a little phone. This thing's like 3 pounds, but I've got my phone, right? And I rely on my digital camera. But your digital camera, it could have a zillion megapixels. It is still super limited in what it can capture. And you could still see the imperfections no matter how good a digital camera you got. Now, this is why I would take all of us flat earthers that do a lot of these observations with the sky, with these great cameras that you got. I want to take you guys to task that you could use the best binocular equipment. That's good. But I'm going to take you to task and get a film camera. It doesn't have to be the greatest film camera. It doesn't. But a film camera to see if there is a difference between what you get with a film camera and what you get with a digital camera, whether it's a Nikon 1000, 8000, or a cell phone, right? A cell phone camera. And
So
that's where I think we need to kind of go with it now.
No problem. Let me just answer to what you said. What you say is logic, just that the basic, the foundation of the reasoning that you have, I don't really agree with it. Why? Because you're talking about making investigation. We have to investigate. I agree with everything. We have to investigate.
Right.
But what does Armand do? He does not investigate. He says, "Oh, that's a chromatic aberration." Did he investigate? Does he know what a chromatic investigation? No. Well, if he did, he will see that it cannot be a chromatic aberration because there is no aberration in the photography, world that looks like what Mikey Smith, has. Like it's ridiculous. A chromatic aberration is a distortion of the light around an object. It does not create an object. This is an investigation of like 5 minutes. So
I'll be honest.
now,
with you.
another
I
thing.
have no idea what you guys.
Well,
I have no idea what you guys got. It looks crazy.
We don't know what we got either. The thing is that the logic, the common sense wants to admit that if you have a picture that is very detailed and that doesn't look like any aberration known, that means again, aberrations do not create shapes, detailed shapes. They distort light. So if Armand did what he wants people to do, that means like to investigate. He should first investigate and then criticize, and then of course we're gonna listen. But if he says, "Oh, his equipment is not good. This is an aberratic, chromatic aberration. So you know what? This is over. So it's over." So this is an insult to our intelligence because it doesn't check it out. It just says what he feels like saying. So at that point, it's okay. We can be wrong. I have no problem about this. But don't just like throw everything under the bus because just feel like that's the way it is. And the other thing is that it is kind of ridiculous to believe that there is any problem with the sensor of the phone when you have a much better result with his phone than what you have with telescopes or binoculars. Because what he bought is not like binoculars; those are telescopes. 2 telescopes put together, not binoculars.
Basically, right.
Yeah. So it works differently. That means it amplifies the light. That's why the picture of Venus he has is like just a blood spot of light. So the point is that I'm not reacting to like somebody that's going to criticize Mike's work or my work. No problem. I accept. I want critic. I want help. I want people with opinion, but people that build opinion with investigation. Not people are just like going to just like say anything they want to. So again, chromatic aberration. It sounds nice, but if people don't check, if people don't do their homework, so it places them as like bad flat earthers. Maybe not like fake ones, but bad ones. The fake ones are the ones that are going to use that nonsense or that absurdness in order to undermine very important work for flat earthers. Because what I believe is that what Mikey has, it's extremely important. He put his finger on something very, very important, and I believe it so much that I invested, quite a bit on that. But again, the thing is that people don't like Mikey. Okay, he's crazy, he's emotional, he's that, he's this, he has ego. I understand. I'm with you 100%. But I don't care about Mikey. I don't care about him. He's got pictures. He's got intel. Let's check it out. We're not here to, we're not here for, we're not seeking popularity. We're seeking truth. So who do I care who the guy is? I just go according to what I believe, he's done right. That's it. That's my logic.
Which is why, like, I totally feel that we all have something good to bring to the table. Now, I understand that you don't agree with Harmon. You have your your reason. You have your reason. Now, Harmon has his reason, right? But I feel that you guys are both coming from a place of sincerity, and you're both flat earthers. And I would double down with this. Now, in defense of Jim Anus, right? Sure, his pictures I haven't seen his pictures come out as clear as your. Matter of fact, if you don't mind, if you could start getting some of your pictures together so you could bring them up so we could see them, the late ones, the more recent ones, if you don't mind. Like the pictures that he's been getting, kind of like this one right here, right? That right there, like I'm like he's getting close to presenting what it is you guys are presenting. Now it may not be perfect, but it's close. And what I mean is things to this effect. Check it out. This right here. You see that?
Yeah,
You see
I
how
have no,
Mikey? Yeah.
I,
So
I
how he? Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I have no problem. This, like you said, we can detect the shape that we have. That my big question is that if he can do that, and with that P1000, and that it doesn't come as clear,
Right.
why doesn't he do what we do to get it clearer? And why doesn't he work to that direction? Doesn't he go in that direction to work on it? But he doesn't do that. He keeps on taking pictures of like bird spots, of lights. So that's the thing that that seems like a little bit out of place for me. That means it doesn't make sense. If you know that you get something with your P1000 that looks like what you get, we explain you how to do it. Do it. We'll try to do it and whatever. I don't know, but he doesn't try to do it. So that's the problem. And now we're just bringing up these pictures. Just now that we're having an argument with him, that we like kind of like exposing him for all this nonsense. So again, it's not like something fishy. But anyways, again, I can we're so paranoid, with everything that happened to us, that we're gonna tend to suspect everybody.
Then
But-
we think everybody, which like I understand that. I get it. We tend to like nip at each other, but I do feel that and the reason I like Jim Anus's stuff is because how much he produces. He goes after it and he produces, and it may not. My thing is, it doesn't necessarily have to be perfect, but I feel that the more we have, right, from people that are ours, from our own, the more we have from our own, the more we can compare. And I'm not necessarily looking at every single picture, but I feel every single picture has some level of value and could present something that we could possibly use here in the future. Now, this is good. It's not like what Mikey has, right? But this is good. Like, I again, it's starting to develop that shape. You look at this one. You look. Hold on, let me remove that, and then you look at this one. Like, we're getting close. Then you could see the faintness of it, right? At the bottom right here, you can see that faint joint starting to develop. I guess Jim Anus, if you're out there and you're listening, or if you decide you want to come in and listen later on in the day, like, I don't know how you would tweak it. Like, I'm not claiming to understand your craft that well, but however which way you tweak it, just, I guess, bop around and kind of experiment with your phone, and see what it is you could capture. Now, you guys already know, again, as I've mentioned before, they're going to talk mess about us and how we're stupid and everything else. But I think I don't know, I want to believe that this is something, right?
Well-
now you guys feel that you might have something. Now, just because I want to believe, right, it doesn't mean that there is something, but something is there.
You don't
And
have to
so-
believe. You don't have to
and that-
believe. You have to understand. You don't have to
Right, and
believe.
You're right, and that's
And
what I'm saying.
That's the whole thing. Don't believe. Don't believe us. Don't believe in my phone. Don't believe my binos. Don't believe in Mikey. Just you know how to do it. You got a couple of grand. You get a couple of just buy binos. Buy a phone. You got a phone already. You don't have to buy one. And
Right.
try it out if you really want to know or really
Yes.
want to believe. Let's say like this. Well, I know it takes time. I know nobody has the time to do that, because it takes time, takes effort, takes money. But that's the whole point. You can do it. We're not special. I never did that in my life. I'm not an expert in that stuff. I have my problems in my life. I have other things to take care of, believe me. But check it out. So if now we can have the same results in two different places in the world. So now it's going to be harder for anybody else to say, oh, it's chromatic aberration, or it's my phone also that is I have a S25 Ultra. It's the best phone that you can have, on one of the best phones you can have on the market. So the thing is that I don't need more than that, just to see that there is something else. And more than the stars, we've uncovered lots of stuff about a texture, like a black matter texture that is behind the star. And in my last podcast, I just show that there is something. It's the stars. We're starting to have some like hard evidence about the fact that the stars are not balls of gas in space. So that's very important for flat Earth, and that's what I call the next level, because we know that the Earth is flat. So we have how many evidence we have that the Earth is flat? It's enough. Now let's start to understand the skies, because it's linked. And I believe that we should know how the sky works, because it's linked to the Earth. We I don't think we'll fully understand the flat Earth if we don't start investigating the skies. But again, we just at the beginning of it, and we still have a lot to understand, a lot of lot to uncover. But this is very important. This is not to be.
Let me real quick greet those of you that have joined us and I haven't seen yet, y'all. Lord Racer, how you doing, sir? Welcome, welcome. Always a pleasure, always a pleasure. Heron Song, our sister Heron Song. Shout out to you, Heron, and good to have you the other day on Roger's channel. Shout out to Heron Song in the Foundry. Harmon Walker. Harmon is here. Good to see you, Mr. Walker. No relation to Herschel, y'all. Harmon Walker is here. Good to see you, Harmon. And yeah, so okay, good. So we have everybody in the Foundry. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to have y'all here. True Earth Whisperer, good to see you, sir. I was just talking bad about you earlier. We had your commercial up, and you guys, shout out to True Earth Whisperer for getting his book, The True Earth Whisperer, right? Discussing the dyads and everything. So get his book, and let's start to understand a little bit more about this crazy Earth that we live on. Right? Let's get it to where it makes a little bit more sense to us. Martin Haley, welcome, sir. Welcome. Always a pleasure, sir. Good to see you. Now, okay, I hear what it is you're saying. I hear what you're saying, Sam. I honestly don't feel that I don't feel that a lot of us here in the community, especially out of this side of the community, that I feel that we're all in love with the truth, that we all want to present what's true. Now, with what you have, it's still, even though the I think 250, 2500, I think you said, that's a Samsung, right? Yeah. So even with that one, like, I still see it as being it's still a digital camera. It's still the digital joint. So my thing is, like, look, I know I'm making all these requests. Maybe I don't have a leg to stand on asking for these requests, but anybody that's got a regular camera, and I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would want somebody to have a normal camera, like a Kodak, a Nikon, a Canon, whatever it is you got, that is non-digital. Because I do feel that to some degree that these people out there, they're messing with it. I don't know how they're messing with it. It's just, you can't trust what it is that this digital stuff is giving you.
With AI, the thing is that on the S25 you have an optical zoom. We're using the optical zoom mostly. We zoom after that on the on the computer, but we use like the S23 I just had before has the 10 times optical zoom, and I got on the 10 times. So that means that that's one thing. Now the other thing is that if we believe, or if we suspect that because of the AI or the electronics inside, it might distort, the image, and give us such results. So it's very simple to double check. You can go on the internet and see all the pictures of stars taken with with phones, like it's called digiscoping, and you can see if you see this kind of pictures appearing all over the place, then you can say, oh, there was a problem with phone sensors. But since there are no pictures like Mikey Smith and me and my pictures on internet, so it will be hard to say that it is the sensors, because in that case, there'll be other people also having that same type of distortion. You understand? So this is the first reasoning that we have to have. And then again, we have to learn about the cameras. Cameras also are like, most of them are digital today. But the thing is that, again, when you study about how they work, and I'm not an expert in it, but for example, the telescopes, I made like 3 videos about it. I understood that the way it works, it just like amplifies the light. So you're never going to be able to see a structure around the light. All you're going to see is like more light and more light and more light. Instead of a small, spot, you're going to see a big spot, another big spot, and that's all it is. And that's the scam. That's the thing that they have on us. because you're never going to be able ever to find and to look at structures around the stars, or even some things on the firmament. You're not going to be able to see that because it's rigged. Even the extra large telescopes, look, they don't show us nothing. Even the extra large telescope, they show us like one big blood spot of light, and they say, oh, you know what, this one is like 5 trillion light years away. That's what they do.
Right.
You understand? And that's the purpose. So again, you have to study all this. We have to understand. Binos is not like, it's more natural, and the phone is more natural than camera, because it's made to see what you see, what your eyes see.
Wait. The phone is more natural than
it's a camera in itself, but it's a camera that can show
a film.
you.
It's more natural than a film camera.
Film
camera.
I don't know what you mean by film camera.
Like a film, like the cameras before the digital cameras came out. Like a regular Kodak. Kodak, 400 speed, 100 speed, 800 speed.
I'll give you an example. The phone, it again sees what you see exactly. For example, if you take a GoPro camera, you're gonna have a fisheye thing. The image is gonna be distorted. You're gonna have a good
right.
How do you call it? Pixelization. You can have a lot of pixels. But again, cameras also distort light somehow, or distort pictures to have like a clear pictures. For now, what I see, the phone is perfect, and again, I can show the results that we have. That's the whole point. How can we say that these results are a distortion, and the blood spots are like the real thing? How can we say that as human beings, as flat earthers, as like regular fellows? Like it's like it goes against any common sense.
Like I hear what you're saying, but the thing is we have to be 100% sure. And what I mean by that is, or we have to be 99.9. That 0.9 meaning that like it's such a freak of abnormality that's why they're not the ideal conditions. And this is what I mean by that, is that if we're going to use something like a digital anything, especially now that we understand, and Maria Walker's got an actual good point, the phone uses now AI tech. Now that just having that knowledge, right? It's a dangerous precedent to follow if we're going to then accept that what we see coming from a camera phone is actually everything we done seen from the camera phone. Because I could show you pictures of things that I've taken digitally where there's a lot of things missing, right? And I'm not saying that I took a picture of the Empire State Building, right? And then there were a lot of you didn't see the finer detail because it's a digital camera, and because of the atmospherics plus the distance at which I was taking the Empire State Building. Now that would be a little bit different if I was using a film camera. Especially based off of how close or how far I was. And this is why I'm really pining for the film camera, because that little amount of doubt is not going to make what it is you capture with your camera phone. It's not going to make it so. It's not going to make it totally gospel. And so this is why I'm saying we can't fully rely on it. And I'm not saying that what you got is bad, because I still like what it is you got, still like what it is Mikey got, still like what it is Jim got.
Check it out. It's just like with flat Earth.
Right.
You don't have 100% proofs, 100% sure that the Earth is flat. We have 99.8%.
But yeah,
how do you know? We don't have the answers for everything. We have most of it. I just need like one proof to know that the Earth is flat. I don't need like 1,000 proofs.
No, you're right.
So the thing is that that's one thing. But the thing about what you said about the Empire State Buildings. So you're right. You can film something that like an building or house, with a phone, and then with a better camera and have a better result, because you know what you're filming. You know what a building looks like. You know what a house looks like, right? But we don't know what a store looks like. So the thing is that we don't know the structure. All we saw so far is that it's like blood spots of light, and it's not. So the thing is that now we are uncovering, there is a structure, there is something going on there, but we're not used to that, because we are discovering that. You understand? No. So the fact that we don't know that there is something, doesn't mean that, we might be wrong. It's just like, it's not possible. It has to be like, like everybody says, like, blood, parts of lights, and that's it.
Well,
It's balls of
no.
gas.
Mhm.
You understand? So
I get
I'm
you.
exaggerating just to make you
No, I got
understand
you.
that.
Mhm. But now I hear exactly where it is you're coming from. To a degree, I agree. But this is the part where it's like it's not different from, or a flat Earth is different in that we can capture what's around us, like immediately capture it, and you could rinse and repeat and do it over and over again. And it's like, okay, based off of these parameters, it is flat. It is flat. There isn't. It may be flat, or we're thinking it is. No, it is. It just
No,
is.
it's a
Right. And
deduction,
so,
because just like
right,
the ice wall, we know it's deduction, but have you been there? Did you touch them? I never
the
been there.
ice.
I
No,
don't
I
know.
don't know.
So we are,
Like,
if I had to be sure, I have to go
right.
there. So you cannot say we cannot be sure until we touch the ice walls and we just like see them. So that's the
Yes.
thing. We have, there's like, we got a margin, of error that we can we can
You
use.
know, I hear you, but
You
with the
understand what I mean?
in the case of the ice wall, like I don't even try to go there, but in as far as trying
Not
to
possible for
prove
now.
it, because it's like I've never even been there, so I could tell you what I've experienced and what I've done, with the Earth being flat, level, plane. I could do that all day and not even bat an eye, because it is what it is, and it's like all I have to do is say it once, and I'm not going to say it again, because it's like it's already been done. Now, with the case for these stars, the reason I'm stressing what I'm stressing is because, as far as I know, nobody's taken a film camera and done. Like, my thing is this basically, what I'm saying, because I talk a lot, I want to say that if we could get a film camera and duplicate what it is that you're doing with the digital camera, do it with the film camera. Can we duplicate what we're doing with a
You-
film camera with a digital camera?
What would that prove if we cannot? Would that prove that we are wrong, or the film camera is incapable of seeing
I
what we
don't
see with the phone?
know. I don't
So,
know. I
so
don't.
that's the
But I'm
point.
not claiming. I'm not claiming to know. My thing is, if it can be reduplicatable. I hope I'm saying that right. But if it can be reduped, then that's interesting. But if it can't be reduped, then that's interesting.
Well, but check it out.
So my thing is, like, let's talk about that. That's
But
something worth discussing. But
you,
at the end of the day, it's not to want. The thing isn't to want to have to be right. The thing is to want to present what is and what is not.
check it out. Um, it's like with flutters. We exactly like at the beginning of flutters. That means all we are trying to show here, first of all, is not the real shape of the stars. We don't even care about that yet. All we are trying to know is to show what we know that is not. That means that we don't know what the stars are, but we know what they are not. They are not balls of gas.
But
There is a texture behind. So again, the point is not to say, oh, see, that shape is the exact shape. No, it doesn't even matter yet. What matters is that we know that they are not balls of gas. We know that there is no depth in space. We know that the stars are close, they're not far away. So this is the point of all these, bad pictures with all these chromatic aberrations. So the thing again is just to tell you that what's very important, because we are starting to uncover that we've been fooled, also about the stars, about the skies, about space. We know that, but now we're starting to have some hardware, to prove it.
right
So
to
this
prove
is
it.
what we are doing. It's not definite. It's not like, okay, this is the shape of the star and that's it. We're not talking about this. We're talking
Right.
about let's sweep up all the the dirt there, and just find out where it is. Just like in Egyptology, you would go with like brush, and
Mhm.
that's what we are doing. So that means it cannot be blamed. So, oh, we don't have like a good phone, so then everything that you film is no good. This is not, it cannot make sense. Like, and if it does, it has to be like, proven, demonstrated, like, explained, like investigated. But most people that say that do not investigate. Flat
Mm.
earthers and globers, they do not investigate. I did in the beginning. You know what? I tell you the truth. I even told Mikey in the beginning. I saw that Mikey. I said, "That guy is crazy. Like, come on, get out of here. What did you find something?" He's like, "It's probably his phone that's like, it doesn't work." Also, I thought that it's a first reflex, the first thing I thought. But then I said, "Wait a second. Let's check it out." To be sure. And the more I checked out, and the more I saw that his pictures were like genuine, and that the guy, even though he's like, the way he is not, he's not like everybody thinks he is. He's like he's much sharp than people think. He knows exactly what he does. He just has like emotional problems or whatever. We all have problems, but he knows what he's doing, and I'm in contact with him, and we've been having a lot of success working together, and we're going to keep on going. So again, the point is not to show you the shape of the stars, but to start to disprove the lies about the dome, and not just about flat Earth, because it goes together. And believe me, apparently, NASA and all those good old boys there, they are spending much more, towards making sure that you don't believe there is a dome, that making sure that the Earth is flat. Because actually, they are promoted the fact that the Earth is flat. Because again, in my videos, I'm explaining that I believe that the new world order is going to be built on the recognition of flat Earth. So of course they're going to start to have it like popularized, like in a way, like they're against, but sometimes they're like publicizing the idea. So, but the dome, if you prove that there is a dome, everything is falling apart. All their lives is falling apart. If the Earth is flat, it's okay. They don't care about if their slaves believe that the Earth is flat or that the Earth is a globe, as long as they remain their slaves. But if you tell people that there is a dome, so automatically there's no more aliens, no more galaxies, no more dinosaurs,
No more
all
Big
that
Bang, right? All that's out
all
the
that
door,
shit.
right?
You understand? So the dome is like the heart of the mother. And actually, in the Torah, in the Bible, the dome, the firmament, is called God's greatest achievement, God's honor. It's like, whoa. It doesn't talk about space or the Earth. It talks about
That dome.
that thing. This is like, whoa. It's so again, well, that's my humble opinion.
Okay, all right. I think that's fair. Now your pictures. Let's bring them up real quick.
Okay, picture. Okay, I got some. You want? I have videos more
Yeah.
than pictures.
Yes,
Want,
let's
you want some
if you'd
videos?
like
Okay.
to bring up if you'd like to
Okay.
bring them up. But this is one of
Okay.
your latest right here. What is this one, if you don't mind?
This
telling
is
the
this is Al Niman, Al Nilam. Sorry, it's one of the stars of the Orion Belt.
Of the okay, so that right, Orion's belt's got 3 of the stars
So,
in there, right?
yeah, just let me just find out where I put this. Wait a second.
Now, I
Yes.
challenge you guys. Quick request. So for all the things that I'm saying that you guys should put in your pictures, or anytime you view these stars, I would challenge that you take the cluster of stars, the picture of the cluster of stars around it as well. And if you could kind of circle the star that you're taking, right? Basically to let everybody know, like, hey, here's the grouping of stars, and then here's the individual star that I got.
Yeah.
You know
But
what I'm saying? So, yeah.
you're right about what one thing I give to Jimenez is what you say, that he always like tells the directions, the whatever, all the details about the pictures. The thing is that at our stage where we are at today, we are more focused into like understanding and catching the stars, not too much into documenting it yet, because it's not like for us something that's like totally established. We're like, first we want to find the gold, and then we're going to refine it. You understand? First we find the
You got to get the gold first.
the chips. So we got to get the chips first, and then we're going to be able to refine it and put it in the box and sell it. But for now, this is because it takes time. All this takes time, takes a lot of efforts. So
oh my God! Pause it.
Oh, okay. Wait, I got to pause it. Wait a second.
Rewind it. Rewind it a little and yeah.
Wait a second.
Wow.
I don't even know where. Oh, okay. Here we go. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's
I hate those machines.
Yeah.
So here it is important because you see that there is some kind of a vortex. That means it's spinning. The top part is something that is spinning,
It looks like it's spinning.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know a lot of us say pulsating, but it looks like it looks like a top almost.
So yes, now just as I said, before, in my previous podcasts, is that this is what's going on. We see that there is some kind of a vortex here going on. I don't know what kind of a vortex. I don't know what it's made out of. We don't know. Plasma, electricity. I don't know. Frequency. I don't know. We don't know. The thing is, it is spinning around. Now here on Earth, you have two natural phenomena, I should say, that involve vortexes. Like the first one is the tornado. So you have like wind, going up like this, and you have whirlpools, like in the water,
In the
water
opposite
going
direction.
in the opposite direction. Okay,
Right.
so those are the two phenomena that we have that show vortex here on Earth. However, there is something interesting. Is that the notion of cold and hot colliding is being involved in those two phenomena. So that means that for the how do you call it, the tornado, it's
Right.
cold air and hot air that actually are responsible or have a big part of of responsibility of forming that tornado. Same
Right.
thing for the whirlpool, cold water and hot water. So this being said, we go back to the stars. We see their vortex, okay, but we also see lots of colors. Every frame you got a different colors. We have blue, red, yellow, green, and we know that those colors actually represent temperatures. So here we have something. Maybe, I don't know. It's still early, but we have maybe something here that tells us that also in the skies, this apparent vortex there might be related to the collision of differences of temperature of some kind. Also, you understand? So this is nothing yet. This is just like we're trying to start building reasoning. Those are first conclusions from first observations. Of course, it's nothing definite yet. But this is why it's important to do what we do, even though again the priority is not to show the shape of the stars, because we're not artists. We don't care about art. We care about understanding what's going on. And the thing is, what's amazing is that we realize that even when the stars are not like focused, they're out of focus, the light that spreads around reveals also lots of information.
Right.
So we are learning a lot about what Mikey Smith calls a firmament, what I call a texture. Apparently, I think it's logic that it might be some a part of the firmament, but I don't know at that point. But there is a texture. There is something like solid or liquid, something that's like thick, and that's right behind the stars, not far away from the stars. You understand?
Okay.
This is not being it's starting to be like solid evidence about this. But so that's why it's important, and I believe that all flat earthers that that like filming the stars should make their priority to just just go into that direction. If you see a guy that is succeeding into having pictures like that, so go ahead. And if you believe again that his phone is doesn't work or his equipment is not good, again check it out, because maybe that's not the case. You're gonna miss that.
Yeah. I agree. So again, man, for all you true earthers, flat earthers out there that's doing the do and going outside, especially in this cold ass environment and weather up here in damn, you know what I'm saying, where it's cold, man, if you're going out there and you're doing this, shout out to you. Yes, just keep doing what you're doing. This stuff is quite interesting. And shout out to you, Sam, man, for getting all that information that we have up there at the top, which I think is amazing. That's how you want it. Like, man, look at that. I have
So
no
again,
idea what the hell we're looking
those
at.
are still kind of blurred. They show you shapes, but again, what's even more interesting now is
Look at that. Look at that. That looks more like
Mikey Smith. Yeah.
And that's serious. All of these are serious.
No. Here it's written above, like
Oh,
it's
oh,
Procyon.
Procyon. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
Okay, yep,
it's
my
different. It's
bad.
different. I have about like I say like 10, 12, 13, stars that are like, decent, have a decent shape, like those ones. And if not, I have about like, like 40 stars, altogether, but they're not like, they're too out of shape, to make a video for that and to just to show
Okay,
that to people. But
okay.
that's it. If not, if you want, I can show you also, it's also a very short video. I can show you the firmament, what
Hmm.
we,
Yeah, let's see real fast. Let me, and while you're doing that, let me address those in the foundry that have come in. RG, good to see you, homie. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Chi-Town Cubby's here, y'all. Good to see you, Chi-Town. Man, Chi-Town's got his live going. Chi-Town's been live as of recent, so y'all sub to Chi-Town Cubby, and y'all also sub to RG, RG the artist. Truth connects us. Shout out to you, and shout out to Chi-Town Cubby. Y'all go ahead and y'all sub to them. Okay. And again, J.R. Hartley, good to see you, sir. Welcome, welcome. Always a pleasure. You know who I haven't seen? I haven't seen JJ in a while, but I know JJ's out there working. So, JJ, shout out to you, man, wherever you at. Come check us out, man. Just drop in, say what's up. You could still have your beard and smoke your cigarette and be cool. You know what I'm saying? But just drop by and visit from time to time. You know what I'm saying? It would be good to see you. Alpha Geese Goethe. Alphys Goethe. Welcome, welcome. Shout out to you. Shout out to you and welcome. All right. All right. We are here. We are moving and we are grooving. All right, Sam. Play it again. Sam, let's see. Add to stage. There it is.
so that's
Is that
that
it?
is again picture of Sirius. And if you see, if you're gonna have to take all the notes
Wow.
down. You see,
Yeah.
so
So now I start seeing.
so
Okay,
so
go ahead. Go ahead.
so the first one, I come back to the first one. You see, and this is kind of very interesting because you can see a rainbow like a prism.
Right.
You
And then
see,
that happens.
you understand? And
Yes.
again, uh, that indicates that there is some kind of reflection onto something.
Reflecting. Because you can see it at the top, you can see it at the corner,
Yes.
you can see it. Yeah, you start to see it.
So yeah. So again, I'm open to everything. That it might be the phone, it might be this, but again, when you check, it cannot be. Even if I want to believe it, it cannot be. So that's another out of focus star, but that show like some kind of like I'd say plasma. I don't have any other word like to say something like soft, like changing shape around and showing somehow some kind of the existence of some kind of a texture behind or something, because that's
Mm,
reflex of something. But still, those are the early videos, the first ones we had about these apparent anomalies, like like
mhm.
you understand. This is the same thing, like going like slower. But the most important video is the last one I just made a podcast today. You can go check. This is when you can see that actually.
Look at
So this,
there it is. That's yours right there. Yep. Now that
and
looks more like
you see again.
yeah.
So the thing is that you have to understand that if you observe the star, at one point when it does reflect, or it spreads like reflection around,
Right.
you see that it's just at the same time the star is getting much brighter. It's like there is the light is increasing. The
Uh-huh.
white spot it's getting much brighter, and then
Right.
boom, it spreads around. So it always does like that. If you take a good
Okay.
look, check it out again.
Do you think it could be the angle at which you're capturing it, and and it is unique strictly to you based off of where you are in respect to the star watching it? You think?
Look, I'm open to any possibility at that point, because I'm not an expert in photography. I'm not an expert in stars. I'm not an expert in nothing. I'm just like
Right.
a flourisher with some common sense. But
Right.
again,
Right.
whatever I think is, I can check. I can double check,
Right.
because again, if I'm the only one in the world that has a phone, that does that, again, that I believe I can sell that phone for a lot of money.
Yes.
You understand?
Jeez.
So this is serious. So there is something going on. Again, we don't know, but there is something going on. And again, here it's not to prove the shape of the star; it's to prove you that there is something going on around. And it doesn't do that all the time. So if it was the phone, it would be doing it all the time. It doesn't do it all the time. In the same night, the same night I can film Sirius like 10 times. Only twice it's going to come up like this, and the rest doesn't come up like this, which means that it goes over a different field, different terrain, different, it doesn't reflect the same all the time, all over. So it's not it cannot be the phone. It's like, because the phone stays the same.
Damn.
So that's the basic logic. But again, it's you understand. So there is something there, and it's being reflected onto something that is not visible. That is, I believe, transparent. I believe it might be like some kind of.
Do you think it's like a? Right. I was gonna say like a glass or an obsidian.
Not glass. I believe like very stiff ice, like very, very stiff ice that you don't see in the dark, that you don't see in the daytime, and that if you put the right light on it, it can of course reflect itself, because it cannot be something dark. It has to be like something transparent somehow.
Yeah.
You understand? So
now that's the thing, Sam, is that like it's fascinating what you're getting. Like I'm not going to claim to be an expert myself or know, but how are we certain that that's the firmament in the back?
No,
I mean,
we're not certain. We're not certain of
Okay.
anything. The only thing we're certain, again, is what it is not. That means we are certain now that the stars are not far away. We are certain now that there is no space, like depth in space, and that behind the stars there is something. I don't know where it is. You can call it the firmament, you can call it whatever you want. So we are like being certain, we are getting certainty on things that we've been fooled about. That means that there's no space. Those are not balls of gas. It doesn't look like it, but they are not balls. They have a structure. So we're proceeding by elimination. Again, we don't know what it is, but we know what it is not.
Right.
You understand? So
Got
this is
that.
this is the point. And we are progressing. We are still like we're starting in that. You understand? And we don't have the resources to be able to go fast and get you the better pictures for now. But we just started. We're just starting, and we wish that we had like other people. There's another guy that in the States that also is going to get like binos, and then he's going to start doing what we do, and hopefully we're going to be like a little club of like maybe 10, 12 people, 15 people doing the same thing all over the world. And this is going to be much harder to to disprove and to make fun of at that point. So that's what we are trying to do.
Yes. And so now, would you say that it's a little bit easier for you? I'm not saying that it's just plain old easy, but you're starting to develop a rhythm in how to properly capture it, and how to capture the stars in this unique fashion. You're starting to kind of develop a tempo in which you can do it, is what I'm saying.
Yes. So again, this is we are just at the beginning of this whole thing, and again, Mikey is the one that that started this party, and again, when he started that, everybody was making fun of him and just saying all kinds of stuff about him. Now it's harder, and even the Glovers, they don't even they're making too much fun of it because they have nothing. They don't come up with nothing. But flat earthers, they come up with all kinds of like explanations and like calculations and mathematics. But the dome, they have nothing. All they did is like two things. One is a contest they did, where they took Michael as the winner of some kind of a stupid contest, and the other guy is a guy from I don't know where that doesn't show his face again, and he proposed me, okay, if you put like a button of a mask on your binos, I'll give you $500. I said no problem, but not for 500. Give me 5,000 because he said I was not going to do it. I don't care about doing it, but you want to play games, you want to play poker with me, I have no problem. I'm going to raise. I'm all in.
Yeah.
So the thing is that again, button of lenses mask is ridiculous. It doesn't make any difference even on the telescopes. It costs about like $2. It's like it reduces the light because there's so much light in the telescope that it just reduces the light. So instead of having like something like this, you have something like this, and
it shows you the actual object that's in the sky.
No, it doesn't show you nothing. It just reduces the big stupid blurred light that doesn't show you nothing.
It looks like those little veins, because I saw what you were talking about, and a lot of those globers were proposing that to you and offering you $500 and everything. And I saw when you raised them like up to $5,000. Now, what it looks like it does is it serves as like veins, and it gets rid of that haloing effect. That it gets rid, them extra light.
But again, that
light around the object.
It doesn't matter. I can put like a strainer like on the binos. The same thing. It's like it doesn't work. I don't believe in on the binos. And if it did, let's say that you put a filter, you put something that makes it appear like blurred. So what does that prove? That proves that this thing is garbage. You have to take it off. Yeah. You understand? This is so ridiculous. This is so like that. That means they have nothing. They have nothing, and they're very prudent into spreading the word and making fun of it too loud, and they all work together because none of them just move. Like they all move together, or they don't move. So that means that they're part of something. Mm-hmm. So that's also one of the things that confirms that we went to something.
Yeah, we're striking gold. Okay, I agree.
But again, for Jimenez and Harmon, I don't hate them. All I want to tell you is that I'm very, very aggressive when it comes to keeping us from reaching the truth by ridicule things, like not by reasoning, but by absurdness, because that reminds me what David Weiss is been doing all along, and this for me is a red flag automatically. I just block everything, and I just go to war, because we have so much things to do. We have so much to uncover, so much, and we are so much. We've been so much infiltrated by so many kinds of people, and that's normal. Again, I would do the same thing if I was on the other side, and that don't believe that again. Like there is a flat Earth community. Like it sounds like it's, for me, it's still information. It's still it's forming. It's been engineered by people that are that have been kind of proven not very straight with us, but again, it's still, for me, it's still forming. And what's going on here, when you see sometimes some arguments or some things, so it's still it's forming. There's no hatred, but you have to have common sense. You can disagree. Of course, we want people to disagree in order to progress. You cannot progress if everybody just agrees with you. But again, just don't insult our intelligence. Just make sense, and I'm with you. No problem.
Okay, all right, that's fair. Let's see. So okay, all right.
I'm gonna have to go because now it's a little late. My wife is sleeping behind. I don't want her to divorce me because we have things in common.
Oh, yeah. I hear you, man.
It's been a long time, man. It's been a long time. Where were you, man? What's going on?
Man, I have been working on this app. I've been working on
a
lot of stuff. So let me show you before you get up out of here. Quite a bit going on, and shout out to you guys that are joining us right now. Centero, good to see you, bro. Centero59 is in the foundry, y'all. Good to see you, Centero. Yeah, there's been quite a bit that's been done and taken care of as far as the app is concerned. And it's the OWRS, the Old World Ruins and Structures. That is the app that's coming up. And I've just been doing a lot of work on that thing, and just getting it prepped up so I could have something to present here to everyone that is either donating or getting ready to donate here in the very near future for the Old World Ruins and Structures, i.e., the OWRS. So give me 1 second, Sam. But yeah, so there's a lot that goes into building this thing, and thank goodness I have a company taking care of that, and they're doing some amazing work. And it takes a while to have what I want to present to everybody. It takes them like 6 weeks to come up with everything, but I'm going to have something to give to the foundry and everyone else here in a bit. And here is the Old World Ruins and Structures, y'all, on both PayPal as well as Cash App. Please donate. Anything helps. Please donate to the Old World Ruins and Structures. Now, there are places, they're everywhere, right? There are people taking pictures of everything. What I want to show you guys is some of the latest that I've come across. And let me tell you something. Living in a place in the Northeast, right, like New York City, if you live in Boston, if you live up by Quebec, Toronto, places to that effect, like you are going to find all sorts of stuff. I know Chi-Town Cubby Bears finding stuff out in the Midwest, namely Illinois, Iowa as well, right? But I don't live out in Illinois. Chi-Town Cubby does, but Chi-Town Cubby's been getting a lot of stuff. But you have guys that live in the Northeast, me, right? Shawnee B. Shawnee B be here too sometimes, but he's not here today. He got some stuff. But I want to show you some of the stuff that I got. And now this one right here in particular is not anything. I don't think that's an old world structure, but at the same time, I don't know. And let me present it. I'm over here freaking flapping my gums. Give me a second.
Always say that.
Yeah. Let me share this right here. There it is. Boom. That right there. So here I am. I'm in Manhattan over here. This is Manhattan. Now the thing is you have a lot of these structures. This isn't particularly old, but this is a nice looking cathedral. Not a cathedral, excuse me. This is just a basic church. But if you look, this thing looks just like a magnetron that you would find inside of your radars. Look at this.
Oh.
Look at this rosette window. And see, Sam, if you look at the bricks right here, you see how they lack the detail. Like you can see some of the detail, but you see how they're like blah and bland. This almost seems like it's an effect of this digital camera stuff. You see it?
I see it. Yeah, that's digitalized. It looks like.
Yeah, it looks. I'm like, So this is Manhattan right here. I think I'm in Manhattan over here, and you can see all this snow just piled up. We just had Snowmageddon like a couple of weeks ago, and boy, it turned this place. Yeah, it turned this place upside down. Let me tell you. Okay, now this is me. I drove through Central Park, and this is a brick. This is just one of the many bricks, but you can see right here, it looks like a bunch of hash marks in this brick, right? Central Park, let me tell y'all, Central Park is, I have to go in there and I have to spend a week in Central Park. There are quite a few things in there that make absolutely no sense. You'll see what I'm talking about after I do my time in there. But that's just a brick in Central Park. I was driving through Central Park and I was headed towards I was headed away from Fifth Avenue and Madison through Central Park, and this is what I got. I got close enough to look at that thing and I was like, holy smokes. So this is just some of what Central Park is made out of. Let me go ahead and continue. Okay. So now, all right, now this is where it is. It gets ugly, but this is over the water. I think this is by Battery Park, I think. Now, if you look at this structure right here, now you see, this is the problem this is the thing I do not like about these digital cameras. You see how you lack so much detail. They just throw the shapes together. But this is the shell of a structure. Don't know what it is, but it almost is castle-like. You can see the shadowing of it, right? This is the building, and then you see right here is the window. There's another window, a big ass door right here, right? And then This right here is the top of it. I hope you guys could see it. Yeah, and this is right over the water. Let me tell you something. If New York, my thing is this, man. If New York is crawling with these places, can you imagine the rest of this world that we're not even familiar with? What else they got over there? This is at the church at a hospital in Manhattan, right? Right across from the HSS hospital. It's a sports medicine hospital, right? And I went there the other day, get knees checked out. But you see that this is a skull at the bottom of the Virgin. This is a church. That's the Virgin Mary. And what's strange, I'll tell you what's strange is anytime you go, not anytime, let me take that back and let me watch what I say. But a lot of times, and that's Jimenez's picture. But a lot of times, if you go, hold on. Oh, no. Yeah, that's Jimenez's picture. But a lot of times, if you go to these Catholic churches, you'll see like the Virgin Mary, right? And you'll see her in the corner, and she's standing on top of a globe. Standing on top of a globe with, while she's standing on top of it, there's a snake that she's stepping on. She's stepping on a giant serpent. Like, it's not even a serpent, excuse me. It is a snake. I'm sure a lot of you guys that have gone to church that see it, right? You might have seen in the corner, same thing. Virgin Mary standing just like she was in that picture that I had right there, standing on top of a globe, standing on top of a snake. You see them in all these churches, and now I'm starting to pay attention, and I'm like, damn, man, that's weird as hell. Like, I don't even know what to take away from it. But they don't just make these things for a reason. I should have just taken the picture so I could show it to everybody. But go ahead, Sam. I'm sorry. Oh,
The love
I see you
symbols, no?
have something over here.
No, I just wanted to show you that if you know that the shape of the stars we take with Mikey, I want to show you something.
Doesn't want.
Remember that Space Odyssey, in 2001?
Right. Right.
2001. So you have a spaceship here that reminds me the shape of those stars, like a small tail on the bottom, a long one on the top, and straight wings, not like regular wings. And there is more. This is called a starship, by the way.
Oh, I see it. Yep, I see it. The top, the bottom, and then the outside, those wings.
Now you have another thing in that same movie. You have a flag, which can confuse you with the flag of NATO, but this is not NATO. It is a flag that exactly represents that shape there. Small tail behind, like a square, like a ring, and then a long tail above, like I'll show you if you want, just to finish with this. Wait a second.
Wow.
Wait a second. Here we go. So that's the thing.
Okay.
Here you can put it if you want.
Okay. Oh, my bad. I thought. Okay, there it is. Any more questions? It's coming up.
So now take a look at the flag.
On the
this
right.
This is not a NATO flag. The flag of NATO is totally different. This is a flag of that star there.
Oh wow! That same thing that was flying in the sky.
Exactly. But again, that doesn't prove anything. It's just like it's just like a little notes and little
right.
eye blink like this. But it's interesting because it talks about the stars. That movie was like inspired. That moon trip that I just convinced in people's mind. It convinced that the moon mission was true, and it started like to condition people into that whole bullshit.
You Sam, you want to know something? I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Like anytime I see 2001: A Space Odyssey, I can't believe that movie was made in the 60s.
Yeah, yes, I know.
Still, anytime they say a remastered edition, anytime I see it, the quality at
Yeah.
which they use to make that movie,
Well,
I just think I'm like, I don't like, I can't, I feel, I don't understand how they could have made that in the 60s just because of how clean
well,
it looks.
the thing is that they made it with the same, motivation than they did the space, that moon mission there. Same
That's a
people,
good,
same,
that's
of
a good,
course.
I feel they put more care into making this than they did the moon
Oh, of
missions.
course, of course, of
Yeah.
course, because that was, to prepare people, because that was like, something in these years. I believe people never saw that.
Hmm.
So it's, yeah, just a little note, funny note. But we're gonna
Wow.
find more, because among my part of my investigation is to also to search for these shapes that we have of the stars
Right.
in the ancient civilizations, because I believe that if Mike and I and another guy or two, can see the stars the way we see them, with a cell phone and binos. I guess ancient Egyptians, maybe Sumerians, maybe I don't know, other people, maybe also knew these shapes, and somehow it must be like engraved somewhere. It must be like written somewhere. So I'm also
So
investigating on that department. Yeah.
so that's actually a good point because I do feel the same way. There are I do feel that they have made symbols that allude to them understanding what
Well,
these stars
yeah,
might
yeah.
have looked like.
Well,
Like the
I found
unicursal,
a few.
yeah, like the unicursal star, right? It's that Aleister Crowley star. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I thought I had it in here. I did have it in here. Where's this joker at? It was in here. Give me a second, y'all. Let me get this thing. Hold on.
If we had the resources, if we had a crazy sponsor, we could
Right.
probably like go quickly. But again, nothing to hope for, and we'll do with what we have, and we'll succeed. It's a question
Mm-hmm.
of time now. It's not a question of like if yes or no we will succeed. It's a question of time.
Of
Believe me,
when? Right. Hold
it's a
on.
question of just when.
Let me get. Oh, jeez. Why? There we go. Okay. Here we go. Let me show this to y'all. Oh, wait. You're not in. We're not in there. Okay. Let me show this to you guys that we got. No. So, oh, Lord have mercy. Share screen. How do I? So Firefox.
Thought I was the
There.
only one like this. Like,
Yeah, like it. This thing is just weird, messing with me. Hold on. Boom. Okay, there it is. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Let me get that for y'all. Boom. And let me see if you guys could see that. This right here. Can you see it?
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's like a bad imitation of the
You
the
see
Star
it?
of David. Yeah, yeah.
Right. So this is the unicursal star. Look at that. That's what, and as soon as I saw Mikey's and used star, this is the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah. I saw also shapes like this. But
Yeah.
again, it's like the thing is that the ring in the middle is like more like square. Like it doesn't go in like this. But
R-
and the thing is that the top is always like bigger than the bottom. So you have a small tail and you have like a big cone. This is the pattern that comes back. But again, stars, look, can come close to that, except
Right.
stars with like 5 branches, which actually is even closer because the stars with like 5,
Five
spikes there.
individual of those spikes,
Yeah, so
right.
you have one in the top, which represents the top, and then you have one right there, like like the ring, and then you have 2. So that means it's like it's shorter. It's not. It doesn't go like all the way. So it's even like more representative. But again, it's like it's
Yeah.
too early to be able to like have opinions about this whole thing. The thing is that again, we're trying to do now is to disprove everything that has been taught to us, and we do it like one step at a time. And thank God, it's great. It's a great experience.
Yep.
It's a great experience.
Let me go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. I do know that I know Sam, you gotta get moving here shortly, but I also know here in the United States we have a Super Bowl going on, and there are gonna be many of you that are
Oh,
gonna
you
watch,
kidding me? Wow.
and that's fine. Yeah, there are gonna be people that are watching football.
I
That's
used to
cool.
bet. I used to bet on that. I used to bet. Oh man.
Yeah. So there are a lot of guys that are gonna be betting today. Harmon knows, right? So a lot of folks are going to be betting today and watching the game and everything else. So I do not want to be stepping on y'all's toes, and I want y'all to enjoy yourselves tonight. Whatever you do, listen. If you're going to have a good time, have a good time.
Who's
Just
playing?
be. It's supposed to be the Patriots versus Seattle.
Oh,
New England Patriots versus the Seattle Seahawks.
the Packers
So
are still in business. The Packers.
the Packers, yeah, they still play football, but yeah, they're not in the they ain't in the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
So you guys, if you're gonna have a good time, have a good time. But look, just be safe, man, because it's still icy in some of these places, and people are gonna be drinking. And if there are people drinking, police is gonna be on the street and they're gonna be looking for you. So number one, do not drink and drive because you don't want to get in trouble. Number two, do not drink and drive because you don't want to hurt yourself or you don't want to hurt anybody else. So please, all in all, just say be careful when you're out tonight enjoying Super Bowl parties and stuff. If you need to be a DD, be a DD. Just be safe. Okay.
See what that's what's good about what we're doing, because you can shoot the stars and drink in the same time. That's all right.
There it is, right? And then you're stationary. You're not going anywhere, right?
So you see, the problem doesn't come from the phone.
Yeah, right. I dig it. I dig it. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. But you guys did get that for the hours. The old world ruins and structures. I'm dropping it in there one more time. You can either submit to Cash App or you can submit to PayPal. Old world ruins and structures, y'all. We are close. Valley Parks, shout out to you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Salad, it's been a while. And Valley Parks, it's been a while. Andreas Matskia. Good to see you, sir. Welcome, welcome. Man, I haven't seen some of y'all in a long time, but it's always a pleasure to see you guys. And who else? I hope I didn't miss anybody. I think I've seen everybody today. Either way, that's all I got. That's all we have for today. I'm going to let you guys have the rest of your day. We've been 2 hours and change in here today. Sam, do you have anything for the crowd?
No, just to again to remind you that it's part of the game sometimes. Like to even with the Globers, we insult each other, but we still at one point we just don't hold the grudge. It's just like part of the game. We're all human. So again, whatever we differences that we have, the points that I don't know about you, but I don't hold the grudge. It's like it's part of the it's part of the it comes to the territory, like she would say.
It happens. It happens.
Don't
I
don't
know.
don't get
Yeah.
mad over it. It's just like sometimes it's good to just like let some steam
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, totally. But we just we're all we got. You know what I'm saying? Let's always work within the confines of the truth. If you're speculating, then we speculate. That's fine. But definitely, we do want to work together. We don't want to be working apart. Like the numbers are low, and that's fine, I guess. Southpaw Energy, good to see you, sir. Southpaw, looks like we got a lefty over here. We got some left-handed people in here too, y'all. Be careful. But even though the truth is the best thing, like we don't have the luxury of numbers. We don't have that luxury. So let's definitely work to make each other better so we can make this community better and then we can make ourselves better. Anyway, definitely. Old World Ruins and Structures, y'all. Donate to the Old World Ruins and Structures and hit me up online for more stuff because I have stuff that I'd like to give away. And, I like giving shit away. So that's all I got. Sam, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks to
Foundry,
you.
thanks for joining us today. You guys, again, be safe. Enjoy the Super Bowl. I'm going to leave y'all with my blessing. We wish y'all nothing but the best. Health, wealth, love, joy, prosperity. Most of all, wisdom, 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 family. Y'all be safe. be good, all of that. Flat Bob, shout out to you, bro. Much respect, much love. Shout out to you. Shout out to your family, man. Be safe, brother. And with that, love you guys. We are out. See you on Tuesday.